Hi, I chose to do my book talk over Julie of the Wolves by George Craighead, Jean George Craighead. This year marks the 40th anniversary of the book. He's a 1973 Newbery Medal winner, and its reading level is from 10. It's a young children's novel. The inspiration that she got to write this book came from when Reader's Digest offered her a chance to go and observe the wolves in the Arctic in Barrow. So her and her son flew to that area, and they stayed several months, and they observed the nature and the lives of the wolves. And shortly after returning, unbeknownst, she had discovered that she wouldn't write the article for Reader's Digest for some reason or another. However, she could not get the idea out of her head about this Eskimo girl that she'd seen walking on the tundra and the lives of the Eskimos. So she was inspired to write this book, and she wrote this book about a 13-year-old Eskimo girl, and her American name was Julie. And Julie's mother died at a young age of 4, and her father went to hunt for seals, and then he never returned from the sea. So she was forced to go live with her aunt, which had arranged a marriage for her, and she did not want this marriage. She thought he was going to be abusive, and he was mean, and so from an early age, an early time, she had decided to run away. So she ran away to the tundra, and I'm going to read you a little passage about her life on the tundra. Mary Max was a classic Eskimo beauty, small of bone and delicately wired, with strong muscles. Her face was pearl round, and her nose was flat. Her black eyes, which slanted gracefully, were moist and sparkling, like the beautiful formed polar bears and the foxes of the north. She was slightly short-limbed. The frigid environment of the Arctic had sculptured life into compact shapes. Unlike the long-limbed, long bodies of the south that are cooled by dispensing heat on extended surfaces, all living things in the Arctic tend compactness to conserve heat. The length of her limbs and the beauty of her face were no use to Mirax. As she lay on the lynching speckled frost heave in the midst of the black tundra, her stomach ached, and the royal black wolf was carefully ignoring her. Armak Elia Wolf, my friend, she finally called, "Look at me, look at me." She spoke half in English and half in Eskimo, as if the instincts of her father and the science of the Guzaks. The white face might evoke some magical combination that would help to get her passage and a message through to the wolf. Armak glanced at his paw, slowly turned his head away, without even lifting his eyes. He licked his shoulder. A few matted hairs sprang apart and twinkled individually. Then his eyes sped to each of the 3 adult wolves that made up his pack, and finally to the 5 pups who were sleeping in a fuzzy mass near the den entrance. The great wolf's eyes softened at the sight of the little wolves, then quickly hardened into brittle yellow jewels as he scanned the flat tundra. Shortly after she's been in the tundra, she comes across a hunter that tells her about her father is alive still in a nearby village. So she goes to the village to talk to her father, and she's faced with the choices about whether she wants to stay in the new civilization like her father, or if she wants to return to the civilization that she had become accustomed to in the wilderness. And if this sounds like a book for you to read, then you should get it. It's a good read. There's also a sequel to the book, and it's of Julie's Wolf Pack. And there are many more books that Miss Craighead has written. I hope you decide to read this book. Thank you.